Hi everyone, it's Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making two cards, and I'm going to be using some pattern papers from some leftover card kits from Simon Says Stamp that I had. And I'm starting off with some die cutting. So I'm going to die cut using my Fem frames from Mama Elephant. Die cutting this pattern paper with the chevron to it. I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. And then I'm also going to be die cutting another piece with a different pattern, this purple background with the snowflakes, I guess, with the same Mama Elephant frames. I'm going to try to be using up some, like I said, scraps and die cuts that I've already had made, just kind of using up what I have to make these two cards. So I'm starting off with this die cutting as well as the plain cardstock that I had in these kits. And again, all this cardstock and pattern paper is coming from the Simon Says Stamp card kit. I believe this is for January. And I'm just trying to use all that up. So I've got all of my pieces die cut out here. So I'm going to also prep my card bases, and this is I believe Paper Trey Inks vanilla cardstock. I'll have everything listed below. I'm not exactly sure what color this is called at the top of my head, but I will have everything listed below for you in case you're interested. So I'm scoring that at 4 1/4. I've cut them down at 5 1/2, and I'm just making an A2 size card. So I've gone ahead and scored that with my scoreboard. And now I'm going to start with my first card here. And I'm going to be placing my pattern papers and seeing where I want everything. These are fairly simple cards. Like I said, I really didn't have any idea where I was going. I just started die cutting and taking pieces that I had, and I just started making cards. So anyway, so I'm using my favorite adhesive here, my Plus Adhesive. And so I'm going to be placing that down onto my card base here. And I was having a hard time seeing where my score line was there, so I went ahead and folded it up. But now I'm placing my pattern paper straight down onto my card, making sure that's good and adhered. And then I'm going to go ahead and start figuring out what I want to do with the rest of my card here. So I figured it would be good to put some dimensionals or foam tape onto this blue piece here to pop it up and give it a little something extra. So I took off the backings of that, and I'm just placing that in the middle. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this die cut that I already had in my stash. I had die cut that, I believe, from a Simon Says Stamp circle die. And I'm using the stamp set also from Simon Says Stamp. I believe this is called Wide Strip Greetings. Let's see. I have it right here in front of me here. This is called, Striped Greetings. And I used it, and it's one of my favorites from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm going to be using this stamp set for both, or this particular greeting for both cards, but I'm going to be altering it on the other card, and you'll see that in a moment. But I'm going to go ahead and prep my die cut for some embossing. So I use my powder bag to do that. And now I'm going to ink it up with my Versamark ink and just stamp that down onto my die cut. And I'm going to emboss that with some Hero Arts white embossing powder. It's one of my favorites. And I don't emboss as much as I used to, so I'm trying to get back into my embossing too. Well, let's just get real. I haven't felt creative in several weeks. I'm kind of pushing myself to do so. That's why I've made these two cards, just to get my juices flowing, pretty much, if we're going to be honest here. So I went ahead and heat set that, and I'm just going to place that in the middle. I did put some foam tape on that as well, just to give it a little bit more dimension to the card. And now I figure I needed something a little bit more extra. I just felt a little bit too plain. So I pulled out some of my wood veneer, and I got this wood veneer heart here. And I'm going to place that using my multi-matte medium because it's really good adhesive. And so I'm going to place that on the back of my heart here. So I'm adding that to my heart, and I'm going to place that kind of in the corner, right corner of my die cut. I really do like this adhesive. It's a really good one for if you're going to mail something in the mail, and you'll know if you use this adhesive, your items won't be coming off. So it's a great thing for that as well. So I've gone ahead and placed my little wood veneer onto my card, and now I'm going to go ahead and embellish it just a little bit. So I'm going to be grabbing my Pico embellisher in the clear, as well as my Wink of Stella clear brush marker. I love those two combos together. So I'm going to grab that. I just love these two pairs. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Wink of Stella, and I'm going to cover my little heart here and cover it as much as I can. It was kind of hard to show up on the wood veneer, but in person you can see it, and it does work out. So it makes it just a little bit more, you know, that little extra special something on the card. So I'm going ahead and put my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to go ahead and put some of this clear Pico and Irresistible, it's what it's called. I'm really getting addicted to this stuff. I think it's because of the little nozzle, because it's got a fine tip on the end. It's really addicting stuff. So if you haven't gotten this or haven't tried it and was thinking about trying it, I really do recommend it. It's a good product, and they've got clear, white, and black, I believe. So I'm trying to show you here in close up. It's kind of hard to capture on camera, but that was the first card. And so now we're going to work on our second card here and kind of start out the same way, but I'm going to do a different orientation here. And I'm going to place my adhesive straight down onto the pattern paper like I did before. I'm just going to put that onto my card base. Get that good and adhered. I love this pattern paper. It's so pretty. So now we're going to work on the other die cut as well. And I'm going to be, my camera died, so I had to, that's why the abrupt there. But I went ahead and grabbed my tiny star background from Hero Arts. I really, really do love this background. It's one of my favorite background stamps. And I'm going to ink that up with the Simon Says stamp. I believe this is cement. I can't think of anything right now, guys. Like I said, I'll have everything listed below. So I've gone ahead and inked that up, and I used a scratch piece of paper to really get that good impression on my die cut. And it makes just a subtle background onto the card, not too distracting from the rest of the card. And it really, obviously, it goes with the pattern paper too. So I've got this other die cut that I had left over from a previous project, and I'm just inking up the same stamp that I used before, but I'm going to be inking up only the high portion of the sentiment, and I'm inking that up with the VersaFine Onyx black ink. It's my favorite black ink, especially for sentiments. So I'm just kind of placing my die cut in the middle because I want that in the middle, and stamping that down. So I'm going to go ahead and place some foam adhesive on the back of this die cut as well. My big roll is getting smaller and smaller. So I'm going to, I've got a little bit ways to go, but I'm going to miss it whenever it's gone because I'll have to get some more. But it's a great investment. So anyway, so I've gone ahead and taken off the backings, and now I'm going to place my die cut straight in the middle there. And I'm going to go ahead and put some foam adhesive on the back of my star. But before I do that, I was going to add some Wink of Stella to this star as well, just to give it a little extra something. So I'm going to go ahead and coat that whole star in that Wink of Stella. So as you can see with the pattern here, I've kind of used the same supplies for both cards, but I got two different looks out of them. So I went ahead and placed some foam adhesive on the back of that star, and our cards are pretty much done here. I'm just going to crease that fold, and I'm going to show you both cards here. So that's the second card, and then here is our first one that we created. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate y'all tuning in and watching my video, and I will see y'all on my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.